world, and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are looking at the energy of your next week. This is a timeless pick a card reading. So whenever you come across this is what it's accurate for, your next 5 to 7 days. Pick a card reading means you get to pick the cards. So you get to choose between, I have numbers here, pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. You can also associate the piles with the crystals that I have above them. So whatever pile number, you can even look in the comments and see what the timestamps are for these piles. Whatever it is that you want to use to figure out which pile is, is calling to you, go with that. So if you're still having a problem, oh, and by the way, the timestamps are down below in the description. So why don't you go ahead and come with me right now. We are going to go to a journey in our minds. So just close your eyes and take a deep breath in and release. And we're just calming down, releasing tension, being present in the moment, quieting our minds. Now go ahead and open your eyes, and whichever pile your eyes are drawn to, that's your pile. Also, take what resonates. These are general readings, so everything may not be 100% right on accurate for you and your situation. Take what resonates. And I also want to let you know that the cards are kind of scalable. The energy is kind of scalable. And what I mean by that is sometimes we get a card, something like the Death card, which means change, or the Tower card, which means like a big life-changing event, right? Sometimes we're just looking at the next week. So sometimes those changes are kind of small. Sometimes they mean they tore up the street in front of your house and you have to go a different way to work. So that could be your Tower moment for the week. It doesn't necessarily mean that because I say that you have a Tower moment this week that you need to lock your doors and stay inside and not go outside, because I was reading where, not somebody from one of my readings, but another woman was afraid to do that. And we're like, don't you see that is your Tower moment that you aren't engaging? Also, you have free will. So the whole point is that when we see these energies coming, that we can make a change or do something different about it. That's the whole point. If you like what you see, great. Let's amplify it. Let's ramp it up. If you don't like what you see, great. Let's make some changes. And that's the whole point. So timestamps are down below in your in the description, and I will meet you at your reading. Hello everyone who picked group 1. I don't even, these are such big numbers. I don't even know where I'm going to put them, maybe up there. All right, so I usually pull for my weekly readings a card that represents the general reading, or the general kind of like energy or feeling of the week. And we have the Snake Spirit, time to heal. So traditionally, snakes are all about like repair and renewal and replenish. Like a snake, when it's time to repair, it just lets go of everything, right? It lets go of all of its skin and just sheds it and then moves on. And just leaves it behind. So this is a week to really think about that. So self-care can be really important. This is also a time to just really unburden yourself this week. I also am just personally drawn to the snake because its whole body is a backbone, right? It has, so part of like your self-care and your unburdening yourself and like this renewal, this rebirth that you're going through could be to really, use your backbone and stand up for yourself. If you don't like the way that you're being treated or the way that somebody is talking to you, and that might even be yourself, since we're talking about self-care, you need to stand up for yourself. You are important. And the snakes are also very efficient. If you think about a snake, when do you ever see them laboring, or when do you ever see them really working? You don't. So they kind of have this rap about being lazy, but they're not. They take care of themselves, and they're really efficient in that way. And they're not worried that you may catch them sunning themselves on a rock. And that's what energy you can embrace this week. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put these guys to the side. We'll get to those a little bit later. That's further advice. And then we have 4 cards here for you to go along with the snake spirit. 4 of Wands. Very lovely, very much related. First of all, 4 is a stability number. And as you can see, we've got these lovely little monsters just dancing here. I also love that we have a frog. Frogs are amphibians. They are of both land and water, right? They are between kind of 2 worlds. So they can talk about metamorphosis and change as well, kind of like with our snake spirit. So this is kind of just amplifying or putting a spotlight on that energy, that during this time where you might feel stable, where you might feel just like relaxed this week, that you can think about ways where you can bridge 2 worlds, water and land, or you can think about ways that you want to metamorphosize or change, like from that tadpole to that frog. I also love like this frog's a unicorn frog too, so that's great. But I also love like the frog, where we have all these frog is a prince fairy tales. Like you just have to and the princess kisses the right frog, and he transforms into a prince. So it's really interesting and lovely here with this celebration, which 4 of Wands often kind of represents, can represent a wedding. So, but it's definitely a celebration. So while you are taking this time to heal, while you are taking this time to like figure out boundaries, when I was talking about standing up for yourself, just really enjoy where you've come from in the past. And you might, I also talked about in my intro that these cards being scalable. So a 4 of Wands might just be you going and getting a margarita and just having a great night. It doesn't have to be that you're getting married or that you're getting engaged or somebody's giving you a ring. It could also just be talking about spending time with family, because I think that when we are healing, getting back to basics and being around people who love you is also very healing. But joy, celebration, a lovely week for that. Then we've got the Page of Swords. Swords is clarity of thought. This is air elements coming in, which is interesting because I would put the snake as really very earthy. They're definitely down to earth, right? Very earthy. We've got fire now, we've got air here. So seems to be rounding out maybe a balanced week. We'll see. Although, and we have some water here with the Page of Swords too, just represented. So that's interesting that I'm seeing that. But air, these are thoughts. These are like intangible things. So definitely when I was talking about with this frog, kind of being a kind of, just maybe sparking an idea of where you want to go from here, how you want to change, how you want to metamorphosize something. And that could just be your wardrobe that you want to, excellent goal that just popped into my mind. Like you want to work on your arms because you want to wear more tank tops, something like that. It could be, but it starts with an initial thought. It starts with a spark, and with a spark, I love that we've got wands and air energy here for a spark for new ideas. Pages are newbies. They're somebody who's like really, they can be young or it can be old dogs, new tricks, but somebody who's enthusiastic about this new idea. And this idea can come from multiple places. Maybe it's coming from somebody that you love. Maybe it's coming from when you do shed some past things, like you let go of some ideas and some ideas of how you were or how things should be. You can start seeing things for what they are and how they could be. So the page is really great here. Usually though, it's surrounded again with ideas. It can be new ways of communicating, like maybe you're communicating with somebody new who you want to be invited into being your family potentially. Talking about love there. It could be just maybe not even new ways of communicating, but if somebody, think of somebody that you haven't talked to for a long time who you know is going to make you feel good about yourself. Everyone should have a list like that of friends that you can just even text or pick up the phone, or you find them on Facebook. And it can be a different way of expressing yourself as well. Maybe this week you get the idea that you're going to try a new haircut, dye your hair. Again, like with the tank tops, maybe you're gonna go with sleeveless shirts and you haven't for a long time. So new ideas, new ways of communications entering in for the week. Oh, look at this. Look, I'm serious. I didn't know what these cards were before I flipped them over, but very well rounded. And what I'm looking at is that we've got water. So we've got like all of the elements here: earth, fire, air, and now water. I love the Ace of Cups. So Ace is a new beginning too, because right, this is like the beginning of the suit. I had talked about possibly a love connection in here, where you're seeing like a new person that you might want to down the road invite into your family. Ace of Cups kind of supports that because water is our emotions. So this could be a new love interest, new relationships coming. And what's really important about the snake energy being here is you've got to let go of the past if you want to start new things, because we only have, we are pretty complex beings, we humans, but our minds, they're limited. We can only calculate and think about and ruminate about so many different things. But if you let go of an old relationship, there's no room for an old relationship and a new relationship at the same time, because something's going to suffer and it's probably going to be your new relationship. So you've got to let go of that old relationship to allow a new one to come in. This could also talk about new creativity though, because water can be a very creative expression, and we're just letting things in and letting things flow. And I also want to talk about, when I was talking about self-care here with the snake, this cup is overflowing and it's able to go out and into the world and radiate out and flow into so many other things. So when you take care of yourself first, you fill your own cup first, and then everything that if you're successful, if you bring in this joy like over here, and you're really successful at filling your own cup first and taking care of yourself, that's when you can really go out and take care of others. When you love yourself, you can really express and let go of that, let that love flow to other people. So I love that for you. And then we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So this is a major arcana card. It's a major energy. It's very lovely in this context. It can talk about good luck and karma and life cycles. So what I love about this whole like life cycle here is we're letting go of the old, we're renewing, we're healing, and really all of these other cards is about starting something new, about bringing in something new that's going to really bring you joy. And the karmic factor here can be very related to what I was talking about with this cup, filling your cup up, and then you're able to let that good karma, that good energy flow to everyone around you. This is really great. This can also talk about a turning point. So if you've been trying to let go of something for a long time, because I know that releasing it is hard. You know, we've carried around these things for a long time sometimes. And it's, you know, we have these ingrained habits. We have these, you know, when we're in a rut, it's a rut for a reason, because we've been there for a while. Wheel of Fortune talks about like something twisting, something changing. We've got this spiral now instead of this circle that we keep going in. The spiral can transport us to other places. The spiral moves up and down. The spiral moves us from where we are to where we want to be. And that's what's really great about the Wheel of Fortune. We also have like these 4 little monsters here. The Wheel of Fortune traditionally has these characters, and they're different signs in the zodiac, but I'm feeling like in yours, and I think they do represent each of the elements. So there we go again, really closing in with the elements. Oh, and I just realized this. I don't know why I just realized this, because it should be like the most obvious thing on this card is that it has a snake on it. Okay, yeah, should be the most obvious thing. So I love how we're closing this out with the snake. The snake, remember I was telling you, traditionally the snake is about this renewal, this healing, and going through this cycle. So we're ending this cycle and we're starting up anew. We're letting go, we're shedding our old skin and starting off with brand new, shiny skin, beautiful skin. Yeah, I think lovely. That's what I have there. So let me get these further advice cards and we'll see what they are. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. So I'm feeling like, you know, what did I say? Something about, you know, you may have, when I was talking about being in a rut, like you may have been in like this position for a long time because you keep working and working and working and working, and you just don't see any real changes. But what's funny is like our life isn't made up of the big moments. Our life is really made up of those little moments that we do over and over and over again every day. And when we take like these small steps every day, we tend to compare where we are today to where we were yesterday, when actually, I think I talked about it over here in this 4 of Wands. It's a really great time to look, like do a deep dive as to where you were and where you are right now. Because if you look at where you know, be honest with yourself, where you were a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, where you were when you graduated high school, where you thought you would be and where you actually are. You know, take a look at maybe some of your old goals. I love journaling because it's really great to kind of bring you back to like when you read things that you wrote a year ago or 5 years ago even, that you're like, wow, I have come a long way. So it's really time to appreciate it. I also love that this is a new moon. This is about, again, bringing in new things and manifesting new things. Great time to do that. And we have another new moon. And a Scorpion for Scorpio. Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. So things that we fear, sometimes we tend to put off. I feel like this comes back to what I was saying about the snake with the backbone. You know, use that backbone. Stand up tall like this Page of Swords. This Page of Swords is ready to charge in. And, you know, just do it. to quote an old Nike advertising slogan, just do it. Let's see, Scorpio is a water sign, so I'm going to put the Scorpio over here on this Ace of Cups, another new moon, new beginnings. Scorpios have they're passionate and assertive. They're also related to rebirth as well. Both, like, new moons are related to like bringing in new things and manifesting. So, and it is the beginning of that. You've got a lot of beginnings here. The Wheel of Fortune is just here to let you know, confirm that, hey, you are on the right track. It's almost destiny. It's almost destiny what you want to do. So make it good, reach high, do something like, yeah, big, you deserve it. So that's what I have for you, group one. Please give me a like if you made it this far into the reading. I really appreciate that. And I hope you have a fantastic week. Hello, group two. Let's put this number up there and let's get into our reading. So I normally pick a card from one of my decks that signifies the overall energy for your next week. And what flew out for you guys is 52 Scarab Beetle Spirit. Magic works through you. So I'm not, like, I will admit here, I don't really get the whole beetle thing, but ancient Egypt revered scarab beetles. Like, they would put jewels on them. They thought they were fantastic. This one has wings, and I have to say, like, this one is very beautiful. It looks really good. So they're very related to magic. And I will also say that, you know, I never built any pyramids, so I will just go with ancient Egypt on this one. Let's work our magic this week. This can be talking about creative magic. If you have a creative endeavor that you've been looking for, great work to start, or great week to start that. It's really, you know, a wonderful week to bring something extraordinary out. Bring it out of yourself, and it kind of is out of the air, like out of nowhere. This is, you know, and creativity is kind of like that. A great week to manifest things and really let your creativity flow. It's just infinite potential going on for you this week. And it also talks about the scarab beetle making magic with what you have on hand. Like upcycling something or repurposing something, just maybe looking at something that you have with brand new eyes. And I hope that you guys have more creativity than me, but I just wanted to give you an example because it popped into my head. I have a waffle iron, which is really great. I love waffles. But for my scarab moment, my upcycling moment was when I took cake mix instead of waffle mix and made cake waffles. So you can do something like that. Again, I hope that your upcycle ideas are a little bit better than mine, and please let me know what you're going to upcycle this week in the comments, because I'd love to know that. I'm going to put these advice cards over here for now. We will break them out once we get through these guys. So we've got King of Cups. So King of Cups could be a person that you're spending time with this week, or can be an overall energy of your week. It pairs very nicely with the scarab beetle because the King of Cups, cups is water, cups talks about creativity, and the cups, you know, the King of Cups would be like the master of that, very much in control of that creativity. King of Cups is also control over emotions. Often we think of, he's usually on an island, but this king is like a merking, and he is out in the middle of like presumably an ocean, a large body of water. So no person is an island, and even he might seem kind of distant just because he's in control of his emotions doesn't mean that he doesn't feel them. So it might also talk about being like a higher observer of your emotions and really kind of understanding what they are telling you this week as well. So he is he's got his cup here, which would be his emotions or whatever he has that's full of water. But he's not even looking at that because he understands, there's this idea that he has control over those emotions, and he's looking up and forward. So that's where I'm talking about being like the observer of your emotions and asking, like, if something upsets you, why is it upsetting you, and how you can really shift that emotion. Maybe it is some kind of idea that pops up from your childhood that you need to work on. Maybe it's upsetting you. Pictures of your friend going on vacation is upsetting you because you haven't been on vacation in a while, and maybe there's some jealousy there. But those things tell you something. And when you know things, then you can do something about it. So it is really kind of pulling yourself out of the emotions at the moment and figuring it out, because it is really, he is very balanced in his emotions, which a lot of times comes off as seeming unemotional, but he's not. He's just an observer of his feelings. I mentioned that you might be spending time with the King of Cups this week. The King of Cups is a water sign, so this could relate to a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. And then we have 10 of Cups. So yeah, it's shaping up to be a very lovely week for you. I love the rainbow. I love the cups, very creative, whatever creative endeavor that you plan on or that you're entering into, whatever upcycle that you would do. This is saying it's going to be a successful conclusion. If this is you spending time with the King of Cups, because the King of Cups is someone in your life, a great week with that person, because this is about family, and even if your partner isn't what you would consider the King of Cups, by the way, I'm not going with gender here. So the King of Cups can very much be a female or non-binary. It's your counterpart. You could even be the King of Cups in this reading. It's just those qualities that I described. So you spending time with your King of Cups. I love the rainbow on here. Okay, so I also talked about, there's two things here. I talked about, your King of Cups, he's up and described as like being on, or he's often depicted on being on his own island. And then I said something about a vacation. So maybe an island vacation would be great for you. And it ties into this card for me personally, because Somewhere Over the Rainbow, when I was in Hawaii, they played that song by, his name is Israel. And his last name is this crazy long, beautiful Hawaiian name, but his version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow is lovely. It's very lovely. So for me, when I want to be transported, I always put that on. And what I love about that song, because it relates so well to this card, is it's very much about harmony and alignment and bliss, and the lyrics of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, bluebirds fly and dreams that you dream really do come true. So look at this. We've got a bluebird or a blue jellyfish, which is even, you know, rarer than a bluebird flying. So yeah, this is very much about dreams coming true. You know, you've got the gold at the end of the rainbow. Presumably we're following that rainbow to find that gold, because that's our dream coming true, right? But it also kind of reminds me, because these guys aren't at the end of the rainbow. They're finding joy and love in just the moments of today, being and appreciating that rainbow. What else do we have? Ace of Wands. So Ace is a new beginning. Playing off of these cards, 10 of Cups. 10 is a completion number, and in the suits we go from 10 back to 1, or you know, 1 is an ace. So we go all the way through and then back to an ace. So we're feeling really fulfilled and lovely over here in our emotional state, feeling very balanced, bringing in joy, being like, when I was saying the observer of our feelings, and that is just making us feel loved. And when you feel loved and supported like that, you can go off and think about something that you're passionate about, new passions, and that's what the 9 of Wands is about. I talked about being creative here with the scarab beetle. Creativity and passion go hand in hand. So I love that the Ace of Wands is here, because we're just bringing in some new inspiration and new opportunities. Definitely growth potential. If you have been pondering if you should start something that you're passionate about, this is a big yes. So take that yoga class, whatever class that you've been thinking about taking or looking into. Start that new book, start that new upcycle project, start that new Instagram, start that new YouTube channel, do a YouTube video, put your video out there on Facebook. This is just being in that really supported joy and starting something new. We also have a butterfly here, so this is kind of transforming things. There's a flower growing on the staff, so this indicates some new growth, and definitely you have potential in that. And so, yeah, you might have some challenges. Of course, that's what life's about, but anything that challenges you, you can meet those challenges, you can overcome those challenges if you put in some effort. And our final card is the 9 of Wands. So this might be where we are meeting some challenges. I want to show you these two cards because it's kind of funny. It's funny in that we've got the Ace of Wands all ready to go, brand new project, super excited about it. And then the 9 of Wands looks like this little monster looks like he's ready to take a nap. Because he's got some challenges. This also can talk about putting boundaries up around yourself. And to me, this would be kind of like if I said, start that new yoga class. At the end of that class, it's really going to work you. It's going to stretch those muscles, but work those muscles, and you might be tired at the end of it. This can also talk about your project. Sometimes we get really excited when we start a project, and then you have to sand something and paint something and paint it again. And we've got a lot of steps, and maybe you have to, when we're upcycling something, you have to repair something, and then you need to run to the store because you don't have all of your supplies. So this is like the actual, once you get into the project, like don't be surprised that you're reaching, that you have some resistance here, that you're having some you're meeting those challenges, but it does mean though that you overcome them when you just persist, when you keep going. So very lovely. Further advice. Nothing will come of the such situation. Avoid course moon. This is usually when you are worried about something. This comes out. Because, and I would say that just because of all of these cards are very, very positive, so it's not like you're going to be putting in a lot of effort to something and it's not going to work out. So whatever has been holding you, I feel like this is at the beginning of the week, whatever has been holding you back, maybe you haven't really been the observer of your emotions and you've let them kind of go crazy because you're worried. You have some anxiety about something. And this is like getting, over here at the King of Cups and the Ten of Cups is getting those things in control, because you know that most of the things, probably higher than 90% of the things that we worry about are things that one, we can't even control. So what's the point of worrying about them? And two, that really crazy scenario that we have in our mind is never going to happen. So this void course moon is here to say, yeah, don't worry about it. Persist. And then we have conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. So get control over here. Know that the things that you're worried about are things that you can't control and you just got to let it go. And then with your full moon eclipse here, sometimes when you feel like a door has shut, that it really opens up a new door. And again, I kind of feel like both of these come before you start off with your week. That you just, it's part of anything that's been holding you back. This week, I feel like you're like, whatever, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna persist. I'm gonna get things into control and I'm gonna go out and do this thing that I really am excited about doing. Because a lot of, things are out of our hands. This is about just giving that worry up to the universe, up to God, and not letting it affect you. And I really feel the King of Cups in this. He gets those emotions in control. He understands them for what they are, and is really looking up and looking to the future and seeing this rainbow with his loved ones. And things were working out for their highest good. So that is what I have for you, Group 2. I hope you have a lovely week. If you've made it this far with me in this reading, please give me a like, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, Group 3. Let's see what we've got for next week. So I usually pull for my weekly readings a card that represents the overall energy of the week. And for you, we have 47 Pig Spirit. Use your mind wisely. So pigs are notorious for being very intelligent creatures. I also love this one that has wings and there's bubbles, and this one is floating in the sky. So it talks a lot about intelligence, but kind of emotional intelligence is coming through. Intelligence is meant to be used with love. So we've got compassion and discernment this week. Intelligent solutions. So I feel like when you're meeting somebody or challenges, that to do things wisely and intelligently, but also with compassion. And maybe you are going to disagree with people, and that is okay. Just to kind of consider what they're feeling but it's more going on facts. So consider all the facts. And what they're feeling, they might even express to you. I'm just talking about like if you are engaging with other people that you may not understand where they're coming from or why they're feeling a certain way. And it may be because there's some underlying facts about what's going on. So that might be a clue to uncover some different facts, because we're really using our analytical mind this week. And this is all the facts, not just the ones that go with what you want, but that are well-rounded. So you might want to investigate the other side of something. I often do this in any of my belief systems. Like, okay, well, I play devil's advocate with myself, and this might be a good week for you to do that. Like, take the emotions out of it. I believe something, and this is why. Now, what would somebody who believed differently say? Or why do they believe differently? Kind of walking in somebody else's shoes. But I do love to, like, just the when pigs fly. So, you know, you might change your mind about something that you thought you would never change your mind about. And it is a good, it's a good thing. It's for the best, for you for the best, for people around you for the best. So we've got, I'm going to put these guys over here. Further advice, we'll get to those. So we've got the World, which is great. This is a great omen. This talks about, though, a completion of something. The World comes at the end of the major arcana card. So you've been through something, you've done something. This could be a completion of a project. But it's something that you're accomplished in, and you really achieved something. And this might be because you just got like this extra bit of information, or you looked at something from a slight different perspective. That's certainly something to celebrate and be excited about. Though completion can be like, for instance, if you graduated from high school or you graduated from college. Like, these are great things to celebrate and be excited about. But sometimes, you know, the next step is a little bit scary. So certainly be happy and reflect on the journey that you've been through, because the whole point of these things that we do is to prepare us for the next thing and the next thing. And I love that this little monster is smiling. It, to me, almost looks like sparklers or doing some sort of magic. But it's definitely kind of building blocks up to kind of almost like leveling yourself up to the next point. And then we've got the Six of Cups in reverse. So I said something about kind of reflecting on what you've done, what you've gone through, being really happy in that. Six of Cups in reverse is living in your past. Cups is about emotions, so this could be talking about like your emotional journey, what you've been through. Certainly if you've done something like high school or college, or even just think about that process of what you've been through and done. There's a lot of emotions going through that whole thing. And sometimes we've made some really good friends that, this can talk about friendships here, that we aren't going to have the same amount of contact anymore with. So this can talk about appreciating those. Who is it that sings the song Glory Days? Because that is popping up in my head right now. Glory days. Well, they'll pass you by. Glory days in the wink of a young girl's eye. Glory days, glory days. So, and that is very much, I think most of that he was talking about in that song is because it it was a friend of his who was like really great at baseball. And I think they were talking about high school being glory days. And there was a woman who was just like a very attractive in high school. And now her life is a little bit, maybe not what she thought it would be. And not saying that, you know, that your life isn't, maybe it isn't where you thought it would be from like those glory days, but you can look back at those glory days and be happy with it. Just don't get stuck there. And if you aren't happy with your current situation or where you are now, really look to this world, because again, this is a completion of where you are. So it's time to start building up then what you want your next chapter to be. And you can make it anything that you want. Look at it from the analytical perspective. Look at it from like how would you change that if you wanted to? And then we've got strength. So I love strength here, also another major arcana card, and I kind of love it here with the Six of Cups as well. Strength is, you know, you are probably, not probably, you are stronger than you think you are. But I mentioned probably because we all kind of, if we're getting into this rut and looking back at the past and like, man, I can't believe I used to be able to do all of this, and this, right? Another song is coming to mind. Oh gosh, it's by Toby Keith. It's a country song. So where I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good as once as I've ever been. So this is kind of like digging into like that strength inside of you. Like you've been there and done that. You've done a lot of things in your past. And sometimes we look back with rose-colored glasses that things aren't as great as they used to be, and probably aren't as bad as you think they are. And again, if you are not happy with where you are, you certainly have the strength to change it if you look at things from an analytical perspective. Again, pigs are flying here. So it's time to really look at your overall goals of what you really want to do and release it. I love like the releasing of kind of like these stars here. Typically this little monster is a lion, and the woman who is with the lion is the one who's strong, because she is like taking those raw passions and desires, which is what the lion represents, and she's taming them. She's doing it with her inner strength, her like just digging deep, this core strength that really exists within her, and taking and shaping those things, because passion and desire is really great, but it's the ability to shape those in the way that you really want to see your future that's important. And the final card we have here is the Sun. Now it's in reverse, but I'm going to show it to you upright. I don't know if I've ever gotten the Sun out of this deck. It's really, really interesting. So the Sun is really about a bright future. Old Westerns, they used to end kind of with riding off into the sunset, like the next day. But this is you riding off into a new future, a new bright future. It can be anything that you want it to be. And this is actually an amazing omen. You've got the World, Strength, and the Sun here as major arcana cards. So this feels like a big soul-searching week for you, and that you're capable of doing anything and everything that you want. Since the Sun is in reverse, I think I might have to do some convincing to you about this strength that you exist that exists inside. Remember, you can change the future's not written. We have free will. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. It's just really deciding what that is the first step. And then making, these plans. But you've got some, good experience here that you want to build off of and build from. The sun can also talk about your inner child. So bringing joy in this week would be really great for you. Finding some things to be happy about. Finding some things that, just make you happy, make you feel joy, really get you off into the right mindset that you need to be in. There's intelligence here with the sun as well. It often talks about intelligence. But in reverse, it can be that you're overconfident in your intelligence. I think that pairs nicely here with the pig spirit though, because the pig spirit looks at things and analyzes things and looks at all the facts. So this is talking about bringing in all of the facts here. Like, what is it really going to take to do what you want to do? Don't let that deter you. Don't let that stop you. Let that actually help propel you into those challenges and prepare you. And mutable moon, nothing is set in stone. I think I said something about the future isn't written. This is that everything is open. This can also talk about, you might be thinking that things are one way and that they're never gonna change and you're never gonna get what you want. And then all of a sudden something shifts and boom, there it is. And it's crazy, like once you look for that and once you set that intention, like how often that happens. The universe can conspire for you. You just need to put that intent out there with your strength and your sun card here. And then we've got these, I'm not reading these reversed. Win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. So just that right there alone should tell you that if you put your mind to something, you can do it, you can handle it. It is there for you. Don't let whatever past events have happened deter you from doing something that you really want to do. You can do this, you can handle it. This can also talk about, Libra, we've got the scales here about balancing some things out. If you have been really in a negative headspace lately, we need to let go of those negative thoughts and bring in some positive thoughts. But it's also very analytical back here to this pig spirit, back here related to that. So balance these things out. Figure out where you are within this cosmos or in this balance. Libra, full moon in Libra also is related to love a lot. This could be falling in love, a partnership. It can be talking about that. Full moons are a climax. They're like, it can, so I kind of feel like this is like your end goal, your set goal. And it's a win-win outcome, so it's the outcome of what you want, but certainly like the culmination of everything that you want and put your mind to. And yeah, so it doesn't have to be related to love though, because I'm not really seeing any other love cards here other than possibly the Six of Cups. Like, perhaps if this was, if I'm reading the Six of Cups in a love reading reversed, I would think that this would be speaking about the person that got away, like the one that got away, but, and you could shift it to that in that, putting in a little bit of, you broke up here with your relationship. This is the one who got away. Build your inner strength and go back out after them. A win-win outcome is forecast for that. So if that is what is on your mind, like a love reading, that looks very promising as well, if I'm looking at the cards in that way. Otherwise, you got some challenges, some inner turmoil, and it's really about looking at things analytically, building that strength from within that you have, that you might not think that you have, but you have it. Putting in some work here. Nothing is set in stone, and going and finding that win-win outcome. This is a win for you, and going back to the whole partnership thing, win-win, it would insinuate that whoever your partner is, professionally or romantically, that this is what both of you ultimately would want. And the pig spirit, considering all the facts I think I talked about, like you might need to get facts from somebody else too to really understand where they're coming from. So if this is a professional or romantic partnership, don't forget that other person, that you both can win from this. So that's what I have for you, group 3. I hope you have a fantastic week. If you have stuck with me this long, please give me a like, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you.